Hey there! Welcome back once again to another lesson at DHK. I guess you already know the drill now. Make sure you revise all the previous lessons before starting this one. As I said last time, you need to be perfect with the basic vocabulary that is L3 in order to understand today's lesson L4. I say it in every video because these first 6 to 7 lessons are the core basic of German. If you ace these first few lessons, trust me when I say, nothing can stop you from becoming fluent in the language. So make sure you're perfect with each and every lesson. Without wasting any time, let's start with the verbs and conjugation. Ich, du, es, sie, wir, ihr, sie. These are the 6 sets of personal pronouns we studied last time. Note that ich, du, wir, and ihr are 4 individual sets of first and second person singular and plural pronouns. Es, sie together form one set of third person singular pronouns. Sie and capital Z form one set of third-person plural pronouns. These personal pronouns are usually the subject of a sentence, which is why they may also be referred to as subject pronouns. The words used to describe the action performed by a subject are called verbs. For example, I play ice hockey. Here, I is the subject of the sentence. Play is the verb that describes the action that the subject is performing. Ice hockey, being the receiving end of the verb, is the object. Verbs are of 2 types, regular and irregular. But before that, you need to know what conjugation is. In simple words, conjugation is changing the form of the verb depending on the type of the subject. Let's take the example of the English verb to be. If the subject is first person singular, that is I, the verb to be is conjugated as am. You don't say I be or I is or I are. You say I am. Similarly, you are, he is, it is, she is, we are, you are, they are. And there is no different word for a formal you in English, so you don't have to worry about that. But I hope you now know what conjugation is about. Also, note that to be is called the infinitive form, which is the basic and unconjugated form of the verb. On the other hand, am, are, and is are called conjugated forms. So coming back to verbs, depending on the pattern of conjugation of the verbs, we have regular verbs and irregular verbs. Here is a list of 8 regular verbs in their infinitive forms. Almost all the German verbs end with an or just n in their infinitive forms. Kommen means to come. Gehen means to go. Machen means to do. Wohnen means to live somewhere or to reside. Spielen means to play. Kochen means to cook. Lieben means to love. Zeigen means to show. These are just some examples of some commonly used regular verbs, and we will be covering new verbs whenever needed. Let us now have a look at the conjugation of these verbs, and then I'll tell you what it actually means when I say that these are regular verbs. All you have to do to conjugate these verbs is replace the an at the end of the infinitive form with the appropriate endings on the screen. When the subject pronoun is ich, you replace the an with an a. When the subject pronoun is du, you replace the an with an este. When the subject pronoun is er, s, or z, you simply replace the an with a te. When the subject pronoun is wir, you use the same ending as that of its infinitive form, which is usually an or just n. When the subject pronoun is ihr, you replace the an with a te, just like er as z. When the subject pronoun is z or capital Z, once again you use the same ending as that of its infinitive form, same as wir. Also, er as z will always use the same conjugated form no matter what. They're just one set of pronouns. It is the same with z and capital Z. They will always use the same conjugated form of the verb. So there will be at the most 6 conjugated forms of a verb, one for each set of pronouns. In case of regular verbs, however, there are 4 conjugated forms, one for ich, one for du, one for both er, z, and ihr, and the last one for both wir and z or capital Z. Let's conjugate the verbs individually now. Kommen means to come. Ich komme. Du kommst. Er kommt. Es kommt. Sie kommt. Wir kommen. Ihr kommt. Sie kommen. Sie kommen. And that's it. It's that easy. I recommend that you pause the video here and try to do it for the verbs gehen, machen, and wohnen. Try to read everything out loud while you do it to improve your pronunciation and fluency. Okay then, let's see what you got. Gehen means to go. Ich gehe. Du gehst. Er es sie geht. Wir gehen. Ihr geht. Sie gehen. Machen means to do. Ich mache. Du machst. Er sie macht. Wir machen. Ihr macht. Sie machen. Wohnen means to live or reside. Ich wohne. Du wohnst. Er sie wohnt. Wir wohnen. Ihr wohnt. Sie wohnen. I hope you got that right. Now take another moment and try the same for spielen, kochen, lieben, and zeigen. Spielen means to play. Ich spiele. Du spielst. Er sie spielt. Wir spielen. Ihr spielt. Sie spielen. Kochen means to cook. Ich koche. Du kochst. Er sie kocht. Wir kochen. Ihr kocht. Sie kochen. Lieben means to love. Ich liebe. Du liebst. Er sie liebt. Wir lieben. Ihr liebt. Sie lieben. Zeigen means to show. Ich zeige. Du zeigst. Er sie zeigt. Wir zeigen. Ihr zeigt. Sie zeigen. Now coming to a very important point. All the verbs that use this exact pattern of conjugation that we just saw are known as regular verbs. Any verb that uses a conjugation pattern even slightly different from what we just saw for any set of the personal pronouns is known as an irregular verb. Let's look at some examples. The first and the most important irregular verb is sein. Sein means to be. Sein is probably the most irregular verb in German, and its conjugation is not intuitive at all. However, it is also one of the most widely used verbs, so you have to be perfect with it no matter how challenging it is. All the other irregular verbs shouldn't be as challenging. Some of them are haben means to have, sprechen means to speak, heißen means to be called. Let's look at the conjugation of these verbs. Sein, as I said, means to be. Ich bin. Du bist. Er ist. Es ist. Sie ist. Wir sind. Ihr seid. Sie sind. Sie sind. As I said, sein is the most irregular. All the 6 conjugated forms are different from its infinitive form. Make sure you're perfect with this. Ich bin, du bist, sie ist, wir sind, ihr seid, sie sind. Coming to haben, which means to have. Unlike sein, the conjugation of haben differs from regular conjugation only for du and sie. The remaining 4 are the same as for regular verbs. So we have ich habe, du hast, sie hat, wir haben, ihr habt, sie haben. Coming to sprechen, which means to speak. Like haben, the conjugation of sprechen differs from regular conjugation only for du and sie. The remaining 4 are the same as for regular verbs. So we have ich spreche, du sprichst, sie spricht, wir sprechen, ihr sprecht, sie sprechen. The keyword for this lesson is sprechen. Finally, we have heißen, which means to be called. Ich heiße, du heißt, sie heißt, wir heißen, ihr heißt, sie heißen. Here, only the second person singular conjugation is different from regular conjugation. Maybe because sz is already a double S and adding another S after it doesn't change anything anyway. Many irregular verbs would be conjugated like sprechen, but obviously not all of them. So every time we come across or learn a new verb, we will see the conjugation of it as well. And it is recommended that you learn new verbs along with their conjugation, at least for irregular verbs. Practice writing new verbs exactly the way you see it on the screen, in the same order. Ich, du, sie, and wir, ihr, sie. Whenever you think of a verb, try to conjugate it in your mind for all 6 sets of pronouns. It helps you improve the way you use them in sentences. Also, there was this question in the comment section of the last video, which I thought everyone should know the answer to. And I like this idea, so if you have any questions, make sure they reach us through the comment section of the particular video or our Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook pages. And if there are some questions like these that you might think everyone would want to know the answer to, we will try to add it in the next video that we post, and in other cases, we will just try to reply to your individual queries. If there are a lot of questions, we will make an entire video only to answer them. Okay, so coming to the question, how to know if a noun is masculine or feminine? The simple answer to this question is that you cannot know. In English, when you come across a new word, you have to learn only 2 things: its spelling and its meaning. In German, when you come across a new word, I recommend that you learn not 2, but three things: its spelling, its meaning, and the definite article that it uses, der, die, or das. So if the new word is Fußball, make sure you learn it as der Fußball and not just Fußball. That being said, most words ending with A may be feminine, but many words that end with A are masculine and neutral as well. So I suggest you don't try to find any such pattern, because it will only lead to confusion at a later stage. We will be covering vocabulary at a fair enough pace, so just make sure whenever we take up a new word, you learn it along with its definite article, which I will be clearly stating for all new words, so don't worry about that. I also suggest that you follow the same thing for verbs as well, as there is no way to determine if a verb is regular or not. So when you come across a new verb, make sure you learn the conjugation of it perfectly well before moving on, especially if it's an irregular verb. Finally, keep revising everything from day one before starting every lesson. It helps. Also, give the test in the description of this video. Make sure you are perfect with this lesson before you go on to the next. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't already, and don't forget to follow us on Instagram and Twitter. See you next time. Cheers.